Welcome back to Music Education Courses. This is lesson 2 of the course on rhythm, meter and tempo, which is completely free on musiceducation.courses with a wealth of exercises, a quiz at the end and a certificate upon completion for your portfolio. In the previous lesson, we covered the important distinction between pulse and rhythm to ensure the rest of the lessons in this course make sense. In this lesson, we're going to explore note values. We're going to learn the classical and pop music terminology and see what they look like when written in traditional notation. Before continuing, a quick explanation as to why pop music terms have been included. The reason for this is because pop music terms help enable understanding of how long each note lasts, as their name is related to how much space they take up of a bar of 4/4. This is the most common time signature used, and it is the first one we'll explore in the next lesson. The first note we're going to look at is the semibreve, also known as the whole note. This is because it usually takes up a whole bar of 4/4. The note value represented by the hollow circle and the semibreve rest is notated as a small rectangle hanging onto the bottom of the line. This line would be the middle line in a standard notation of 5 lines in the stave. In case you're thinking, what is a rest? A rest is where the part notated for doesn't play, so they can have a little rest. As you can see in this example, the numbers above the notation represent the pulse, and the notes are the rhythm. If you don't quite get the difference, even by the end of this lesson, feel free to check out the previous short video lesson which clarifies the difference. The next note value is called a minim, or a half note, as each minim lasts for half a bar of 4/4. You can see the notes which look like a minim with a stem. The rest is a small rectangle like the semibreve, only it now sits on the top of the middle line. Now we can see the crotchets, also known as quarter notes, because each note lasts for a quarter of a bar of 4/4. They look like minims with a hole filled in. The crotchet rest is represented by the vertical squiggly line. The quaver, also known as an eighth note, looks like crotchets joined together in groups of 4. If it's one quaver by itself, it will still have a tail trailing from the top, as you'll see in future lessons. The quaver rest is notated as a dot with a diagonal line attached to it. You may have noticed the plus signs in between the beats of the pulse. You can easily identify quavers by listening to see if there are 2 evenly spaced notes played for every strong beat of the pulse. It can be counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Finally, we have semiquavers or 16th notes. Again, they are grouped into groups of 4 and they look like quavers but with 2 lines connecting them instead of just 1. The semiquaver rests also look very similar to the quaver rests, but with 2 dots instead of just 1. When counting them to a pulse, they are easily counted as 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. There are even faster rhythms, but they're so rarely used for obvious reasons. We're not going to cover them here. In this lesson, we covered note values of semibreves, minims, crotchets, quavers, and semiquavers, what they look like in traditional notation, and how they are counted. This is a lesson to come back to when reading notation or composing and having to notate your notes with the correct note values. In the next lesson, we're going to look at time signatures, starting with simple meter. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe, and feel free to actually take this course on musiceducation.courses, which has a wealth of free exercises and a quiz at the end to ensure learning, and you will earn a certificate upon completion for your portfolio. Until next time, learn smart, play smart.